Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Gods versus Machines.
Flawless victory.
This is an action-packed roguelite strategy where every run is different thanks to a wide variety of spells and skills, as well as procedurally generated maps. You'll have to protect your world and huge crystals that are rising from the ground. These are your source of mana. You will build your base around them with spells that summon different types of buildings, mini volcanoes that drown your enemies in fire from afar, spirit dwellings that spawn powerful sprites to fight for you, and so on. Basically, this is kind of a traditional RTS game. If you played one, you will be right at home. Just be aware of the powerful bosses. When your enemies will use up all the resources, one of their commanders will appear, so prepare for an epic final battle. Although don't expect miracles from the game, it's an indie title with all the flaws indies usually have, from overused assets to seemingly an AI art, but in general the game is fun and the price is not that high as well. Well, at least definitely not as high as Seth Rogen. Cossacks 3. This is a remake of the classic game that originally launched in 2000s. Here you'll find 20 nations, 120 different unit types and over 220 different buildings. That sounds like an overkill, and believe me, it is. But it is also really fun to play. This game is like ultimate epic battle simulator before it was cool. Also, besides the battles on land, you can build an armada of battleships and attack your enemies at sea. Game offers 5 single-player campaigns. Cool feature is that the game lets you fight massive battles with up to 32,000 soldiers simultaneously on one battlefield. Just be sure that you have that NASA supercomputer for that. Desperados III. You can kill quietly with a knife or take out multiple foes with your revolvers. I especially like the knife part. It somehow feels more personal and, of course, requires more skill. Scenarios Desperados presents are far from cliché. Situations are quite original but also familiar with a nice vibe of Wild West. I say vibe because here you will fight not only in small frontier towns, but also in creepy swamps, riverbanks and even in sprawling modern cities. Here you can choose between non-lethal and deadly attacks, meaning that you can finish the game without killing anyone. I have no idea why you may do that, it's boring. I live my real life without killing anyone. Why should I do the same where I am allowed to snap a neck or two? For example, I am against hunting for fun, but I play the hunter and I slaughter all the animals in the forest for pure entertainment. You know why? Because they are not real. Duh. Anyway, Desperados 3 is like an old good Commandos game, but modern with amazing visuals and great quality overall. Dune Spice Wars. At the beginning I was really surprised how light this game is. It only requires 4 GB of free space. What is this witchery? And because of that, Dune Spice Wars works incredibly smoothly. Loading times are almost non-existent, and the game itself launches very fast as well, a few seconds and you are in the main menu. I honestly can say that I am not used to this. The game itself looks like a casual 4X title, like Civilization, but it's not. It's a mix of 4X and real-time strategy. You start with your main base and then you have to expand. To do that, you need to explore surrounding areas with your ornithopter and find some resources. I mean areas rich in spice, having which is really nice. It rhymes because spice here is money, and money is nice. That always rhymes. Roses are red, violets are blue, money is nice. See? Anyway, I can recommend the game, I really liked it. Planetary Annihilation Titans. You can play the game alone and rule your pathetic planet on a traditional real-time strategy campaign, or dive into multiplayer battles and sacrifice your dignity and self-esteem to much better players. Game was released about 8 years ago, so you can imagine how many better players Planetary Annihilation has bred, how many eggs of much better players it has laid, and how many of them had hatched. And now it's too late to burn the nest with fire, you will have to take them all one-on-one like a hero you are never meant to be. And believe me, some of those players are still in the game. As for recent months, about 300 players are in game at all times, so you will not feel alone here, and that is a good thing. Titans also has pretty good AI which can surprise you with ingenious decisions, like detonating their own homeworld in hopes to kill your commander. Go big or go home, they say, except when you blow up your homeworld you don't have home to go to, so you can go only big.
Oh, the puns.
Shut up, I'm really proud of this sentence. Anyway, reviews on Steam are very positive, so I think you can give it a try without many thoughts given. 9-bit Armies, a bit too far. Most of us know the 8-bit RTS series, and this is the latest game in the franchise. It is so fresh that it is still in early access, but the game already has a great review score hovering around 90%. In 9-bit Armies you will rally your military forces across a variety of battlefields and act out your strategy over land, sea and air. Yeah, the holy trinity of every good RTS game. You will deploy your airborne soldiers, destroy bridges and aim your super weapons at your puny enemies. You can also join others online, playing together with your friends in co-op campaigns or against them in a mix of skirmishes supporting up to 8 players. The game is filled with various innovations like swimming infantry or sharks who can eat them, but the UI and whole setting looks and feels very close to Command & Conquer, so you will feel right at home here. 9-bit Armies will provide a bit better and smoother gameplay, better map layouts and medal system kinda similar to StarCraft 2 campaign achievements. You can download new maps and mods with full Steam Workshop integration and discover new ways to render all to burning bits and bytes. You can also upload your own mods and maps to share with friends and foes alike. Game also supports LAN PvP, so you can organize wild parties with your friends and keep your virginity safe like never before. Iron Marines. Well, it's hard to introduce this game somehow differently than as a flat 2D StarCraft, and you know what? It's great! The art style may look very familiar to some of you because the game is made by the same developers of Kingdom Rush, as I always say, one of the best tower defense games ever made. So here you'll recruit and train the greatest heroes in the galaxy, lead them into dangerous missions against near impossible odds and unleash their mighty powers and abilities. In short, you will get 21 campaign missions across 3 different worlds, and each mission will require new tactics and actions to achieve victory. You will have to defeat unique bosses and control 14 different heroes. Game allows you to choose from several difficulty modes, meaning that it can be enjoyed either by noobs or by veterans of the genre. Game is quite funny, filled with Easter eggs and more than 70 achievements for you to unlock. People on Steam are saying that if you want to play something like StarCraft but don't want to fry your brain while doing that, Iron Marines is the next best thing. Game has a very positive review score, so this may very well be what you were looking for after all. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game has a model similar to the Arbillions, where you defend from the hordes of enemies and try to keep your base alive. Also, here you can literally relive the best moments of the Starship Troopers movie by defending your base from hordes of ladybugs. Anyway, here you'll encounter dozens of unique insect types, each with their own special abilities and skills. Also, the map has terrain elevation, true line of sight and true line of fire, providing deep tactical gameplay, meaning that units that stand behind other units can't shoot unless they stand on a higher ground. Sadly, you can't play as an alien insect. It's not off the table completely, developers say, but now you can only play as a military human society. That's it. If you are wondering if you can build a base here, yes you can, but it's not the main focus of the game, I would say. Despite that, it has a very positive review score on Steam, and many commentators are stating that if you like Command & Conquer or StarCraft, you must try Starship Troopers as well, so do not ignore it. Jagged Alliance 3. In the sequel of the legendary tactical strategy turn-based franchise, you can select from a huge cast of mercenaries, all with their own unique personalities, quirks and backstories. Then go out and explore the land as you meet new people, earn money, grow your team and ultimately make your own decisions that will decide the country's fate. Here you will also find a campaign that you can play alone or with friends in online co-op mode, control territory, train the locals, command multiple parties and defend against enemy forces in an alive and active world. You can customize your weaponry and even decide on the fate of the country in an open RPG structure. Honestly, I was really skeptical about the game's quality before the release, because sequels like that, especially after so many years, tend to flop, while most of them actually fail to live up to the expectations. And Jagged Alliance 3 wasn't anything like that. A very positive review score left by thousands of people proves that without a sweat. Into the Breach. This simple-looking game is actually an officially recognized masterpiece. It has won Best Strategy Game title at the Game Awards. It was announced as a Game of the Year by PC Gamer, and on Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews left by thousands of people. So here the remnants of human civilization are threatened by enormous creatures breeding beneath the earth, and all hope is in your hands. You must control powerful mechs from the future to hold off this alien threat, and each attempt to save the world presents a new randomly generate a challenge. Basically, the game throws a different strategic puzzle at you every time and you have to solve it, and that is somehow really fun to do. Just make sure you like both puzzles and strategy games, because it is quite challenging, and if your brain is smooth, you may want to play some other game instead. Don't ask why I know this.
Okay, you don't care. Alright.